What's up, Sharai? How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing good. So, yeah, guys, just so you know who is Sharai and why I am interviewing her. So, basically, she's a client of mine for more than a year now, I would say. Like, more than that, I don't remember. But yeah, and we've been working together for so long, and we are just trying to provide value for her in order to get new credit repair clients and whatnot. But yeah, she's killing it right now in creator per business. As you can see in her backend, she has also written so many things.
I know, right?
Yeah. So yeah, I'm going to interview her. I'm gonna see what things we can extract from her in order to handle this kind of business and do everything. So yeah, Sharai, can you give you a little bit background about what exactly you do and everything?
So I do credit repair.
Mm-hmm.
I started in December. I'm now entering into doing insurance as well. So basically, I'm just a financial consultant for credit repair and insurance as of right now.
Got it. Yeah. So, I had some of the questions I'll definitely need to ask so that way we can, definitely learn so many things from you.
Okay.
Can you explain your whole sales process, like how exactly you handle from cold to close? What I mean is let's say for an example, we have brought you message inquiries in your DM. So
Mhm.
how is your sales process different? And basically just so you guys know, she's currently closing at least one or two deals a day. And on the best day, I think you close 4 to 5 deals a day, right? Yeah.
Mhm.
So how exactly do you handle the sales process? And how is it exactly?
Okay, so before I want to say like around March or April, I was probably closing like maybe one a day, and I would probably have like a possible or two or three that would need like a follow up or something like that of that nature. Um,
Uh-huh.
as of um as of the last month, I'm closing about four or five a day. And then I have a possible of like maybe like three or four that rolls over to the next week because they probably don't have the money for it.
Yeah.
Or they're just looking to get information. So basically, how I've been doing it, instruction. I had to tweak a lot of things because at first I was like, no, I know how to do this, and then once I got into it, I realized like, oh wait, I need to like figure this out. And like I remember me and you had a conversation about the
Yeah.
sales process and things of that nature, especially because it can be confusing on the Facebook.
Yeah.
And you don't want it to be too automated. So what was happening was we had the first automated message that was coming in that was just
Mhm.
saying, hi, thank you for reaching out. Like, what's your name? What's your number? Type thing. And so what I have learned to work for me is like making sure I have somebody on my Facebook immediately, if possible, because I know it can be hard to manage that, but if possible, have somebody on my Facebook page that quickly answers them back and says, states their name. It says their name to them so they don't feel like it's an automated system. And then it might say like a general question like, hey, what seems to be the problem with your credit, or what are you looking for? I
Mhm.
try to leave with what seems to be the problem just because if you ask them what they're looking for, 9 out of 10 they have no idea what they're looking for. So if you just ask that simple question of like, "Hey, what seems to be the problem?" Sometimes they'll give you a long spiel. Like this is what's happening, things of that nature, and then sometimes they won't do that. Sometimes they'll just say it's everything. So you have to like kind of just like pitch it.
Yep, got it. And how important do you think is replying them instantly compared to you can just hop on the DM in 15 or 20 minutes or 30 minutes from now. Is it important to reach out to them instantly? What do you think?
I would say it's 100% more effective to reach out to them as
Yeah.
soon as possible. And I remember at one point, me and you had a conversation about that, and I was being complaining about it. I'm like, well, I don't really want to do that. Like, I don't really want to reach out to them like as soon as it happens because of X, Y, and Z, or
Yeah.
I don't have time to be reaching out with them. And
Uh-huh.
I remember you had told me like just do it and see what happens. Like just trust me, and I was like, okay, I guess. And then I end up doing it. And when I say that week, I end up going from like the week prior to me to be doing that, I
Yeah.
probably had like one or two leads that came in that actually responded back. And then when I tried that method, I had over 10 consultations. So it was a huge drastic like change from me just doing the lazy way, which is just send a link and be like, hey, book with me. Most
Yeah.
people, especially Americans, they're lazy. They
They-
they they're like, and that's out of 10. A lot of people probably hit up like 10 other people before they even hit you up. So you have to be like proactive about it, like
Proactive.
be on
Yeah,
them
yeah,
like
yeah.
they're on you.
Yeah. Like most people are lazy. Like it's not just about like Americans, but like I would say like all the the people who like use social media apps. Most people are like mostly lazy, and the reason why we need to be proactive and just have the conversation with them initially ASAP is because like whenever you hit them up like after some time has passed, they really don't know that they have the great problem and they don't identify that time and they are not really motivated at the time. So it's definitely like so much important to make sure that you're reaching out to them ASAP and getting that info right away, like that. And like quickly, how do you follow with your clients? Like how exactly do you currently like follow with your clients?
You know why I'm laughing about this, because
It's all good.
we talked about follow-ups so bad. Okay, so I'm gonna be honest with the people. I was not following enough with people. In my brain, it was like, you reached out once, I hit you up, you didn't respond back. Okay, I'm getting flooded with my message box, so I'm gonna move on to the next. And I did not follow up, and it was so, so, so crucial to my business, because it was people who like send me messages or who called me. They were like, "Oh, I spoke with you like 5 months ago. Do you remember me?" And I'm like, "Huh? Yeah, I think I remember who you are. Yeah, 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 yeah." And they're like,
Yeah,
"Oh, I'm ready to do it now." And I'm like we talked
yeah,
5 months ago type thing. So definitely follow up.
it's so
Um,
important.
yeah, it's so important. But also, if you follow up with people, find what works for you, right? Because
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
every follow up does not work with everybody.
One second.
Okay. What was it that?
Yeah, I'm really sorry. It was so urgent. Yeah, thank you for explaining that whole question. And guys, now you know how effective and important it is in like follow up. Even for us, we like we follow up with our clients until they sign up. you know, or else
Yeah,
they just say that.
they just get done with like they're over before you even started. Like, yeah, okay, whatever, and they're over it. So yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And you just don't need to take things personally, even if they say something wrong or bad way, because they're doing their job, you're doing your job, so it's all good. uh, I had one more. I have like two, three questions more. That's it. Like, what exactly do you have like conversation whenever you are trying to have a conversation? We had this conversation before, but I just wanted to show this to my audience as well. Like,
Okay.
what kind of conversation you really have in sales, like whenever, let's say for an example, there is XYZ guy who had a conversation with you already prior on the message inquiry, and after that whenever you take them on the call, like what exactly you talk and like how exactly do you close, like how
Okay.
how does that like conversation looks like?
Okay. So and it may look differently for everyone.
Yeah.
So don't be afraid if it does look different for you. But for me personally, I want to connect with whoever I'm working with, because I just find it to be much easier.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when they trust you in the process.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like don't try to be a salesman to them, because they have a lot of credit repair people who are trying to be salesmen, and they
Salesman.
already think it's a scam to begin with. Like that's the idea that you're trying
Yeah.
to scam them, and you're gonna get their social and you're gonna do all this
Yeah.
crazy stuff. So just be aware of that when you're on the phone. Like if they're being hesitant, that's okay. Let them be hesitant. Let them figure out if it's something that they want to do. Don't push them. A lot of my clients tell me all the time, like, "Oh, reason why I went with you is because you wasn't pushy. You didn't try
Yeah.
to force me to do something that I didn't want to do, and you let me warm up to the idea of it." And then they're more proactive when they become a client. So when I get them on the phone, the very first thing is that I introduce myself, right, and then I ask them like, what is it that you're trying to do in the next 6 months? Give me an idea of what you're trying to do with your credit, because if you have an idea what they're trying to do with their credit, it's easier for you to coast or figure out what program that you have that works for them, right? Especially if you have multiple ones, like figure out where they're at, and then you say, oh, okay, I see that you have a couple inquiries, whatever. So well, this is how this is gonna look, and always throw like a fun fact in there or something like that. So like I might tell them like, oh, your utilization of your credit cards is way too high. That kills your credit. Most people don't know that, or something like really, really small, like, oh, the reason why we don't check Credit Karma is because it only has 2 of the bureaus. Like they'll be like, oh my God, really? Like they'll go crazy. Like they're like, oh my God, I did not know that, and my friend told me to do blah blah blah, right? And then you're like, oh no, it's fine, it's okay if you didn't know it. But now that you do know, let's go ahead and get you started. Um, Once they kind of tell you what they're looking for, you can kind of mold whatever package you have into what the client needs and make them feel like it's custom, right? So like if they say, oh, I'm trying to buy a house in the next year, make them feel like that package is custom. Like, yeah, we can get this deleted, and then I'll help you work on trying to buy a house within the year. Like they feel like, oh my God, like you're personally helping me. Like, like that type of thing. And then that will make them lock in. And then before you get them off the phone, just tell them like, hey, whatever system you're using, like I'm gonna send you a follow-up email. I'm gonna send you a follow-up text message with the portal. Let me know if you have any questions. And sometimes they'll sit on the phone with you and they want you to do it. Like, oh, well, can we do it right now? Yeah, let's go ahead. Let's get it done. Sometimes they might be busy. Like I have a couple clients that like they're always at work, so it's like, oh, I work, so I can't do it, but I'm gonna do it. And then you always do a follow-up messages after every single phone call. Always text them and say, thank you for talking to me, X, Y, and Z. Here goes the next steps. People respond to text messages more than they're gonna respond to you
Yeah.
calling. Sometimes calling is necessary,
Yeah.
but like if you text them, 9 out of 10, if you have an iPhone, you can see if they read it, and if you have an Android, you can see if they read it. Like one of my clients, I even said like, I seen that you read it. Like respond back, and then it made him respond back. So like it happens. So definitely, try not to be a salesman, but definitely create the packages to where they feel like it's just them and it's no other client. Like they're
Yeah.
the only one that's just getting their credit fixed right now at this particular
Yeah,
time.
yeah, 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 yeah. So bottom line, guys, make sure you are having like a man-to-man conversation, or it could be like human-to-human connection, and not just being a salesy and just trying to be focused on outcome, which is making money. Of course, if you are going to provide value to someone, they are definitely going to buy from you, or they are definitely going to pay the amount you need from them. But just try to make sure that you are providing the value on the call and trying to be human to human, and not like being a robot, which is like sales guy, just having, hey, what's going on in your credit, are you going to sign up or not? So just don't do that. Just try to build that trust, because trust is very important in the credit repair business. Because imagine, like they're seeing several different ads from another companies, and they are getting hit up. How are you going to differentiate yourself? It's very important. And remember, this is coming from someone, she is currently like closing 4 to 5 deals a day, which is a very good thing. And it's coming from someone who already has a good amount of experience in the credit repair industry, and she already knows like what kind of things actually work. And that is the reason why she is so successful, and she is handling this business in a great way. And yeah, so glad that I'm working with Sharai and her team as well. So it's all good. you know and yeah, Sharai, another question is like, how do you tackle objections? For an example, I have like 2 objections people usually give. Is like, I can't afford it, first one. I think I already have this solution for that, but I would love you to answer that question. First one was, I can't afford it, and the second one is, credit repair is a scam. How do you handle that?
That's a good one. I've heard the second one. I have not heard the first one of I can't afford it. And maybe because my prices are already low, they're like, oh my God, I gotta jump on this, right? But no, I make them understand that even with the very first one, even if they do say I can't afford it, right? This is where you can offer your client a payment plan if
Mm-hmm.
need be, and they feel more willing to do it. Like,
Mm-hmm.
hey, it might be $100 down. I'll send out all your letters, whatever case may be, something to entice them to be like, okay, this is something that I should do or I should try. And
Mm-hmm.
then as well, don't push the price on them. Like, so I pretty much like, I don't really speak of the price until the very end, or I might slide it in the middle. And the reason for that is because I want them to get the full understanding of what they're getting before I just throw a price on them. Because sometimes people will stop listening the moment they hear something, right? They'll be
Yeah.
like, "Oh, that's just too much," automatically, and then they like, "Nope, I don't want to do it." Versus if you make them feel enticed to want it, like, this is what you're gonna get for the 6 months or the 3 months or the is this. And then, oh, okay, well, all right, then that sounds good. I'm like, okay, let's go ahead and get you started. It's only blah, blah, blah. These are two options for payment. So don't feel rushed to do it. And then they're like, okay, I'm down for like, this is it. Now, the second one, as far as people saying that credit repair is a scam, I have never got anybody on the phone that has said credit repair is a scam. However, on my ads, I have
Yeah,
so
yeah, yeah.
many haters on these ads that love to tell people that credit repair is a scam, or like that's foolishness for paying that price. And the crazy part about those people is they'll say that, and then I have noticed that they have been DMing my leads like, "Oh, but I fixed credit." So like I ignore them. People are gonna feel how they want to feel about credit repair just because it is a high risk industry. You can't
Yeah.
do anything about that. Like it bothers you at first. Trust me, it bothers you. However, you get tough skin with it, and you're like, okay, it is what it is. Like
Yeah.
you don't have to like it, but somebody does.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Initially, definitely, like it definitely bothers people. So, like, whenever somebody is, trying to screenshot me, like whenever any client screenshots that well,
Yeah.
we just say that, it's a completely normal thing to happen, and, just try to ignore it because haters are always gonna hate. So, they're just doing their job. You just need to do your job well.
Yeah.
That's it. They are just a keyboard warrior. So, we can't just fix it. And last thing I wanted to address is like, mostly like whenever someone is buying anything, it could be in service business. This is what I have learned is people will find 100 reasons to not buy something, whenever they are on the phone. Like if it's expensive, they're going to find 100 reasons. You just need to
Yeah.
find one reason from them, like, what would be that reason and what would motivate them. Let's say, for an example, it could be car or home. In the end, whenever you pitch your services or like, your prices, just try to motivate them and just say, like, imagine if I could remove this thing for you, and if this can actually buy you a home or a car you actually wanted, would
Mhm.
this change your life? That's very important because, like, people have like several reasons to not buy, instead of, you just giving them one reason to buy it. So it
Yeah.
makes hell lot of easier for the things. And yeah, very last question, very very last, I trust me, like it's last.
It's
Is like,
okay.
yeah, like, I know, like, you already have a good like follow up things and stuff like that. I wanted to know, like, exactly how many times, like, do you usually follow up? Like, do you have an Excel sheet or like notepad? Like, what exactly?
Okay. So honest moment here, honest moment. Like, okay, so I have had probably like 10 different systems of trying to follow up with people. And the reason is a kind of a good thing, but a lazy part. Well, not really lazy, but like a good thing because, like, I say it's a good thing because you guys have brung me so many leads that at first it was just me by myself, and it was no possible way that I can follow up with all these leads. Like, I was at one point, like, my stuff was rocking. Like I had like a 400 leads in a month, and I'm like, what is happening right now? Like I cannot follow up with all these people by myself. Like it's just little on me. Um, and so I tried to use like Trello, like to write their names down, and then like that would be my list that I would go on and to like text back if they left their number, or send them a flyer in the email. However, the last 5 months that has not worked because my lead count is stupid high. Like
Uh-huh.
I probably have like almost 2,000 leads that's just there, like just there. So I have found a new system, like, and they're like leads that like people like sent their numbers and like email leads, not like the ones that was like I just want information like leads. So like,
Yeah.
which is a good thing on you guys' part. That means my ads are working beautifully. But I have found a new system, which I don't know if you heard of the app, which I just found out from somebody else who does credit repair, which is Zoho, I believe, or Zoho or something like that.
Go high level.
Um, is it Zoho? I think
Go
it's
high level.
Zoho.
Do you mean go high
I
level?
think
High level
yeah,
or
yeah,
something?
yeah, 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 yeah. So I'm implementing that, and I'm hoping that that is going to work beautifully for me. That is the one part that would be kind of automated to a certain extent, but that's just because, like, you guys are so wonderful that you bring me all these leads that I just can't juggle them all. So that follow-up system works, as well as just like pick a day out the week, right? Like say if it's a Saturday and you're like, man, I really like I haven't followed up with the leads from the last month. Like pick 2 days out the month and literally just go back through your Facebook or your Instagram and get all the numbers, put them on a spreadsheet and just call. Just call.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
just
yeah.
take
Just
one.
call.
It takes one day. Like tell your assistant or tell whoever you work with. Like okay, don't call. Like no consultations for today. I'm just doing straight follow ups, and then just go down the list. And then I wouldn't even or text them, and then call them. And don't be creepy about it, but just be like, hey, how are you? Like like I was just like I'll tell my clients, I was just checking on you. And then they'll be like, oh, yeah, 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 yeah. Like, I haven't forgot about you. I know you haven't. I'm just checking, just
Yeah,
seeing if you're okay over there. And then sometimes they're like, oh, yeah, I forgot all about it. Or life got crazy, or whatever the case may be. Everybody has different circumstances where they started the process and they had to stop it for whatever reason. And
yeah,
then you'd be surprised how many people reach back out, like, you know what, I couldn't do it then, but I can do it now. So
yeah, yeah,
definitely pick 2 days out the week and just call, text, you know, get your popcorn, get your snack, and then we be sitting
yeah,
down just like, hey,
yeah.
checking on you. Yeah, and see if it works.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's a good thing. Sharai, can you give a little bit context about like how much we are spending right now and like what is the outcome you're getting right now? A
Okay,
day?
so
I mean a day. Yeah.
a day.
Yeah.
Okay, well, it's technically 40 a day, but it's 50 because I'm trying a new master class,
Yeah,
which
that's
is
different.
which is seeming to be beautiful, and people are eating it up, which is I'm like, yes,
Let's
I
keep
knew
that secret. Let's keep that
yeah,
secret
I was
project.
like, yeah, I was like, I knew I was a star. I was born to make it, right?
Yeah.
But no. So I would say, other than that, it's just 40 a day, and in a day, I probably get about depending on the day, because of course everybody's busy, but depending on the day, I probably get about 10 to 15 messages into the inbox.
Hmm.
Out of those 10 to 15 messages, I probably will land anywhere from 11 to 12, if not 15 out of 15, of
Hmm.
getting them on the phone.
On.
Especially with that fast program of, hey, let's set you up in the next 24 hours. Try not to wait too long because they
Hmm.
get bored easily. So the next 24 hours are like, hey, I'm free in the next hour. Can you talk real quick? It doesn't take long. So on ad spend, 40 a day, leads probably 10 to 15 a day. Within a week, I can normally close on anywhere from 5 to 10 if I'm really proactive and just get them on the phone. Sometimes those leads roll over into the next week,
Week.
and then that's how it is. Yeah.
Yeah. So all in all, like maybe 10 to 15 clients a week. That's all what you close right now,
Hmm.
mostly, or
Yeah.
more than that. Yeah. On
Yeah.
the
Oh,
best
yeah.
days you close.
Yeah. If I'm on like talkative fire, I'm gonna if I get about if I get 10 consultation calls and they all answer, because sometimes that happens too, they won't answer. But if I get 10 consultation calls and they all answer, I could probably close on at least 7 of them right then and there, and they'll have their payments down by that Friday, and it's just like smooth working out. And it's only $40 a day. Like, look how much money you can make if you just spend $40 a day. Like,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
can't
yeah.
wait to bump mine up to like $100
Yeah.
a day. Like, I'm gonna be like talking crazy. Like, what?
So
Like,
for that, yeah, for that we already have like how to systemize things. Don't worry, we'll talk about it later. So we in that way, we can scale at like $100 to $150 a day, and we'll have like. But yeah, that's good. We have a cool stuff for that as well. And yeah, thank you for answering all of my questions. I really appreciate you, and we are really grateful to have you. Back then when we started, I would say like you were like 14th or 15th client of us, which is a huge thing and meaningful for us. Like it value like for us, you never like left us for like any like there were some months that were bad due to as
Yeah.
14 and stuff. But at that time as well, you stayed with us, and we worked together, and we are still back on track from like last 12, 13 months or something.
Yeah.
But
No,
it's
yeah, I told you that. Like, I like anybody who joins you. Like, I told you I was not gonna leave you. Like,
yeah,
especially because I appreciate you guys. Like, I had two family members die within the course of us working together, and you
yeah,
guys
yeah,
like worked with me through that whole grieving process. Like, from that point, I was like, oh my god, I love them. Like, they have my back. Like, because most people be like, no, I'm gone. Like, I like no, it's real. Like it's real professional. It's real love. It's like I want to make you make money. I want to make money, and this is you have no choice but to grow.
yeah, definitely. That's a fact. And yeah, very last feedback if you want to give about me and my team, like
Mm-hmm.
whatever it could be.
Last feedback. I'm saying. No, last feedback. I love these guys. Like my business wouldn't be where it is if it wasn't for you guys. Like 100%. Like I have went from like maybe doing like 3 or 4 clients a month and being like I'm killing the game. So now I'm like overflow. I have staff members. I never thought I would have staff members. I'm gonna open an office. Like none of that stuff could have possibly ever happened if I hadn't took the risk. And it wasn't even a risk because I felt like from the first time we had a conversation, I knew like, okay, I can trust them. Like they have it. And it's a process. It's not gonna always like be easy and just like flow in. But however, if you're working, you're consistent, like you guys have my back, I have you guys' back, and it's
Yeah.
just big money and let's call it a day.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I really appreciate it. Definitely, we have a game plan for you already, like on how to scale stuff. But what we are waiting on you right now is you are going to buy office space, right? Right now.
Yes, yes, I
So
am.
yeah, we are just going to wait for that, and we can take this to a huge next level because
We're gonna make
yeah, as I said, we already have a good amount of experience with me and my guys. We literally spend like 20 to 30K a month on
mhm.
some of the bigger ad accounts and some of the bigger, like, creator per businesses. We already have that skill to take you to the next level. It's just, we are waiting on the backend systems and whatnot for you. And, we can just, scale it up. So, yeah, that would be an
I'm definitely patient. I know it's a process. I know it's
process.
coming. The fact that it's like this right now, like I can only imagine, man. Like I can only imagine. Like I only been like what, like maybe 6 months, 6, 7 months. Like
Yeah. I think so. Yeah. More than
yeah,
that, I would say. But yeah.
yeah. So
Definitely.
I'm happy. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So, guys, thank you for watching this quick interview with our girl Sharai. We really appreciate her being on the call and taking her time. And yeah, this was, by the way, back end again. This was an interview from someone, she started with like, a small startup of creator business. And right now she's closing at least 4 to 5 deals a day. And she's currently spending, for those who want to know, it's like she's spending like $40 a day on ad spend. And she's getting good amount of inquiries and, trying to land so many clients from that. But yeah, this was her experience working with us. And definitely you should learn from this and other interviews we have. I think she has also learned from some of the interviews we did, of
I
course.
did.
Yeah. So yeah, it's all about like learning and growing together, and it's good. Thank you, Sharai, for your time. And yeah, I'll see you soon.
All right. See you.